Hey, welcome everybody to Battle Pirates Crib. It is Dark Matter this week. Started in alpha, just started in beta, and there's some interesting things going on with that. And also next month's raid. I'm even more curious about that. So let me go ahead and introduce everybody. Two Doors,
It's me. I'm here now.
Aussie,
Good morning, everybody.
Lady Cat,
Hello.
Kenny,
Hello.
and Derpy.
Hey, everybody. Where's my free stuff?
Wow, we'll get to that. It's not too many slides in. Assuming I haven't accidentally deleted the slides. I've been making a lot of changes in the slides recently. So let's go to the first slide. HTML5 fixes. Anything of interest here?
Well, I haven't seen them fix any of the bugs and glitches that I'm actually experiencing, so I guess it's good they're getting these for.
Yeah. So, okay. Nothing there. Let's move on to the next one. All right. This is the free riot fleet everybody got. Derpy, you haven't changed yours in any way, have you?
Since last raid?
No, the free one.
I'm recommending that people do change one special.
Well, at least one special. But
yeah, I haven't changed mine.
The armor special is the one I assume you're dropping, right?
Yeah, it's worthless.
Yeah. But I would find it interesting to see somebody hit one of the targets or hit both the targets, the lower level targets, with this, with the free ships to see how they do. In addition to, people can hit with their real ships, but just so people get a baseline of what these things can do and maybe what their expectations might be. But yeah, the armor special is not great. The other thing I found interesting about these is none of them have comrades. Do they not want to give the people comrades, or
Do they not work? Would make sense. I don't think they're working.
I think they work. Mine work.
They worked last raid.
Okay. Yeah, it's so hard to tell because they're small. I wish they would improve the torpedo graphics as far as the normal torpedoes, because it's just a little blip that comes through the water. Maybe my screen's not big enough, or maybe I'm not videotaping everything and watching it in slow motion. It's hard to tell for me that they're actually working. How do you guys figure that they're working? What clues do you get that they are actually working versus not working?
Well, I have to record my screen and play it back in slow motion when I'm zoomed in. That's the only way I can figure out.
Okay.
And
awesome.
I see them get hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How big is your screen, Aussie?
Well, I've got it smaller, so but I can still see them. I see their torpedoes coming in, and then they disappear. I see my antis fire, and then they hit them.
Okay.
So,
no, it's just because I see them. It's like they're bouncing up and down in the water for me on my screen. Like I see them and then they disappear, and I'm not sure if they're getting shot down or what's happening to them. So I'd rather they be more robust like ours. I would be fine if ours were these little things, but theirs being these little hash marks on the water. It's annoying to me. I just don't, maybe I'm getting too old.
Well, I can't see either, but I am old, so I need a new pair of glasses.
So, okay. So everybody that has played within the last year is supposed to, even if they logged in today, as long as they played within the last year, is supposed to receive this. in addition to that, people that haven't played in a while have gotten even fairly generous price. Well, Grimace has played within the last year. I think he's logged in. Everybody remembers Grimace from the show. He got the full fleet of riots. He got a full fleet of Praetorians that were outfitted pretty well. And then he appeared to get, I think, all the heavy turrets, a bunch of base parts, a bunch of build tokens and whatnot for logging in. So if you do have a friend that wants to, yes, videotaping, yes. I was doing it on beta, actually, J-Vlog. So you want to invite somebody to come back that's been gone for a while? These are potentially the type of prizes they may receive. Now, one more click. Here's the more controversial part of it, and the more confusing part of this. This is what I got. In addition to the fleet, I got 4 12-hour Punisher upgrade tokens, 4 Warhound build tokens, and it appears what it's supposed to happen, which is not necessarily happening, because I know some regular listeners of the show that have all their ships at X1 haven't got any of these. I know some people that have their flag at X1, and one other X1 ship has gotten this same prize. Then I've also seen people that just have a fleet built, not upgraded at all, and they get the Punisher upgrade tokens, but not the Warhound build tokens. There appears to be some sort of glitch in the script where, like I said, people aren't getting these right away, and I assume this is something that's in action to be fixed at this point in time. There's also people that aren't getting the free Riot fleet, and I'm assuming it's because they need to put some ships in storage and create some space. Anybody else's experience with this?
I got mine.
Don't all talk at once.
I have 2 ships at X1, and my other ships I don't even think are OU1. I didn't care that much. I do not own the Warhound, and I think that might in the
That's fine.
hello? What?
That was me. Sorry. You're good now.
I don't own the Warhound, and in the future that might be why I don't get one and other people do or whatever. But haven't gotten the tokens.
You didn't get the Punisher tokens either?
Nope.
Okay, I think you are one of the ones that are left out, I'm assuming. I think you should have probably got, if not both, at least the Punisher ones. Because like I said, I've seen screenshots of people's bases and seen the fleets, and they aren't even upgraded, but a complete Riot fleet, and they got the Punisher upgrade tokens. So I think you're one of the ones that I think that's
He's special.
But okay.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff and I were talking. Kenny and I were talking pre-show, and my riots are upgraded more than his, and he got the Punisher tokens. Did you get the Warhounds too?
No, I didn't get the Warhound at all.
But you got the Punishers.
Yeah, I got the 4 Punishers, and that's all I got.
I got nothing. I have 3 riots at X1, 1
That's
at
just random.
U3, 1 at U1, and I have 2 Warhounds, and I got nothing.
Yeah, I think the people, I'm assuming, I'm making an assumption here, the people that haven't received something, this is part of some sort of glitch or some problem with the script, the way it was written, as far as the distribution of the tokens. That's my only assumption, because like I said, one squid watcher of the show, not really squid related watcher of the show, all at X1 didn't get any of these. So there's no reason there's no reason he shouldn't have.
Yep. I didn't get anything. I have 4U01 at X1. I do have a Warhound, but it was currently refitting. So if your ships are refitting, it sometimes doesn't show up as being in your dock. I know if you buy upgrades when something's refitting, it messes up stuff. So I think that the rollout here is pretty bumpy, and I would like to have it looked at.
What do you recommend? That we send tickets, or we just wait if we feel we were entitled to something based on what we see other people getting?
I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't gotten any feedback on this. I might wait. I mean,
I don't want to flood them with
these things are, both of these prizes are sort of long term.
right.
So you know, the Punishers, you're probably, those upgrade tokens you're not going to use today or tomorrow.
Right.
The Warhound build tokens, maybe, but personally, I don't like to file tickets because I usually feel someone insulted at some point along the way.
Yeah,
And so I don't necessarily do that all the time. So I might wait till tomorrow and at some point during the day tomorrow and see if I did receive them. But if you're a frequent ticket filer, go ahead. Because I have not seen any feedback from Kickside that indicates there actually was an issue or an error. But it just feels like that from, you know, listening to people as far as what their current upgrade was, and, you know, their progress in upgrading and what they did receive. It seems too inconsistent. So I'm assuming there's some sort of error there.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to slam them with tickets. They're going to have enough problems with tickets. So I don't mind doing a wait and see. I just hope somebody is telling Kickstarter they need to revisit this issue. Because it really, my morale just dropped when I got home and saw that I had nothing.
Your morale or your morals?
Well, the morals have always been but the morale is, yeah.
Okay.
Will murder for tokens.
That's for that show. Okay.
I was just checking if the S was missing, but okay,
Right,
so that's what that is.
Just wait and see.
Oh yeah, morale.
I mean, you know, I don't know from Adam, but I just assume with the amount of discrepancies associated with this, that and the time and effort you would have to do it, and the fact you don't need any of these things tomorrow. I might wait a day and then file a ticket and see if they come up with a solution overnight or, you know, during the day tomorrow and do it that way. But that's just me, because I don't like filing tickets because they end up, you know, acting like I'm an idiot. So I'm like, okay.
It would be nice to know what their criteria was. That, you know, that would be nice to know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now that we're, you know, over that, let's move on. All right.
Can I say things on the free Riot fleet and its existence?
Sure. Go ahead.
You might want to get a beer.
Okay. We'll see.
Okay. A lot of people have been upset, or they've been questioning the usefulness of building a fleet. If this, if this continues to happen, they're thinking, oh well, the next 2 months, this is going to happen again. And one, they said no such thing, and if you do this and it doesn't come, I'm probably going to be laughing at you on the inside, maybe a little on the outside too. But two, and I'm not sure how much this is done because I haven't taken a break from the game ever since it started. I think that Kicks should be doing this every 2 months. If you log in anytime the week before the final raid in a cycle, you will get a finished, mostly finished raid fleet for that cycle. And
Mhm.
here's the thing. One, that's going to help a lot of people so that, you know, if something happens, if, you know, real life takes over, they're in the hospital, they can't play, all that sort of stuff that tends to happen,
Mhm.
so that they won't fall behind and then be crushed and then drawn in the undertow of the rest of the game, because you also need these fleets for TLCs for tokens for the next raid stuff that goes through. The issue, I think, would be, well, there's two issues, but they kind of fold into each other. One of them being they should probably make this fleet of a poor enough quality that people that work 40 hours a week would not be able to get all of even the weapon hull and special unless they paid a little bit for repairs. And
Lady Cat, go back a slide just for because I think they accomplished. One more so we can see the.
I mean, it's not a bad fleet. I don't think it's bad.
It's not.
It could be improved.
I don't think anybody. I don't think anybody on this panel built. I mean, I'm about
not us.
three specials, and three specials, a weapon. I'm not close to this as far as a build.
I think I mean, one's technically a little different, but like, yeah, you swap out the armor and you throw in, I don't know, CML4 or whatever.
It's not the worst part, especially if you are at X1. The armor is probably a good.
I know the armor special, the CTX one. I would leave the actual ship armor. Like this isn't bad. And I know a lot of us, we've got way better, but this isn't for us. And they would need to make it bad enough so that you'd need to either repair with it, or, and I know this is already making the rounds, to upgrade that fleet, which in this case is fantastic for your defenses. Maybe upgrade everything and give you like 10 days, like 8x 1-day riots and 2x flag 1-day tokens, so you could swap out the bad specials, and maybe they'll throw in a few jagged bite, the better torp, so that you could swap those out and give that like $20.
I didn't even check. These aren't even jagged torp. Okay.
These are no, I think they're bone skewer because they're looking old.
I didn't even bother. Because I have another issue on the next slide that's caused me to spend some time. So yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And I guess in practice, this wouldn't be so different from if they just sold you a good, completely done fleet in the last week of the cycle for $20. But I think it would feel better from a player's perspective if they got the items, realized they were bad, and then were given the option to purchase the tools to fix it, because then they could feel like they're actively working on it and doing something smart with it. While if they got a really good fleet, there wouldn't be as much of a connection there. Okay. But I think this is something that I know there's like, oh, this is the biggest giveaway you've ever done, but they need to be doing this more often. Otherwise, so that the game is actually easy to get back into. Issue the fleet after the raid so they can come back as second tier, not top tier.
No. This is not top tier, especially if you consider, I think, as I recall, the survival percentage or the armor bonus percentages was like 178, if I remember correctly, on this one. And my, like my fleet, it's about 1,000. So it's taking a tremendous amount more damage, and that's why I'm really curious if Derpy can hit some targets in a little bit with this fleet as built, and then we can compare it to a better build and just see. I don't think this is top. I don't think this is top tier, is what I'm saying.
And I think we're actually going to get into a perfect counterpoint of your argument, JVlog, once we get in later and look at the new Punisher tech and compare that to the Dragoons that we have. Also, the armor points. Good heck.
Are you going to talk about TLOs later, or is this a good time to bring that up?
I mean,
Oh, as far as the time limit
Yeah.
offers is regraded to taking ship to X1? Sure, go ahead.
Yep. Well, I'm just curious. I have a ship. I have 3 at X1, and I have 1 at U3 and 1 at U1. I put that new special on the U1 one, knowing that it wasn't going to get any further. But anyway, I got a TLO to upgrade all my ships to X1 for $14.99. I could care less about the new fleet. I already have a fleet. I worked hard on my fleet. I have pride in my fleet. But for $14.99, I can upgrade the new one too, which kind of makes me angry because of the
But again, as you know, I contacted Kixley about that issue, and I wasn't certain they were completely understanding my issue with it, as far as the fact that I was like, the people that are looking for the $4.99, $9.99 deals to
right.
get to X1 might be slowed down by this, because they have so much more to accomplish with the now 10 ships, with 5 of them at U0, that they, as opposed to getting charged $9.99, they might be getting charged $39.99 for that same upgrade. And they said it wouldn't be an issue, and because yours is, you still had how many days left of upgrades?
I
Probably
have
a couple weeks.
I guess so for the U1 one.
So you have a U1 one, which is going to be almost a couple weeks by itself.
And the one at the U3.
Okay, so that's another 6 days.
So did anybody
we're
get
talking
it?
about 20 days. Well, it's going to be hard to ask anybody because nobody knows. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just curious if anybody got a cheaper one than $14.99 or a more expensive one. I was just wondering what the ranges were.
I didn't get an offer.
Okay. Anybody else?
I haven't looked through them, but I can. What am I looking for?
Upgrade to X1.
Okay, I'll look through that.
Upgrade for the your riot fleet.
I was just curious because I like to compare values.
I haven't got it either.
But you're already at X1.
Well, no, but one of his
But hang
fleets is not the other one. See, that's the issue.
You're right.
Because he still has 5 ships. Well, not him, because he's got the leaderboard prize tokens, but he had 5 ships that were at U0, and so I mean, some people would just jump at the chance at $14.99 or $9.99 or even $4.99, depending how these things are getting combined, to have 2 fleets that are, because with the tokens that we've earned, because I have 10 days of riot tokens that I got from TLCs, and I think the Kicksmas, that I could make this fleet right again with 10 days of tokens. So then I would have 2 2 fleets.
So that's why
built fleets. And
that's why it's $24 for me then, I guess.
You're 24.
For me, upgrading all ships to X1, which I currently would need to do 4, it's $34.99.
Same for me.
Okay, $34.99, and you are at. We'll start with Brian. You are at.
I'm at 2 X1 ships, 2 U1 ships, and a U0 ship.
Huh. Interesting. And Derpy?
I'm at 4 U0, 1 X1, and it's $35.
Wow.
Huh.
It should be cheaper for me then.
Yep.
Yeah.
X1 is hard.
Well, X1's just one more. It's the same as going from U2 to U3, but okay. And then the people that are at X1 didn't get an offer.
Right.
I have 2 ships at X1. I got the offer.
And what's
Okay, yours is what?
$24.99.
24. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. None at X. I mean, these. It really sounds like they're not including these ships in the cost.
So
No,
then that
can't be.
means, yeah, so then that means since it's all of them, I should be able to get all those up to X1 also.
I mean, maybe it's counting your. This is weird because I think it might be counting your lowest upgraded fleet, if that makes sense. And because we all just got one, it's giving us the offer as though we never upgraded anything because it sees that we have a riot fleet.
Lady Cat's at $14.99, and she's got the fleet.
Lady Cat, what's your lowest on your regular fleet? You two?
You won.
You won? Okay, maybe it's going your lowest out of your top 5. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I did have some conversations about this last night because I was worried about this, but
I have a better response in terms of submitting a ticket for the not getting tokens or getting tokens to your riot fleet. Is this now a good time to share that?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
I have a response for what the ticket policy will be if you submit a ticket in terms of tokens.
Shoot. Go for it.
So if you did not get your riot fleet, the first thing I'll tell you to do is check your inventory, make sure you have 5 ship slots, maybe refresh once or twice. If you still don't have a riot fleet, submit a ticket. It will get passed up to customer support. They'll look into it for you. If you did not get tokens, but you think you should have, like me, if I submit a ticket, they're going to tell me, no, sorry, nothing's going to happen. Kixeye is reviewing who got tokens or who got tokens and who didn't. But don't submit a ticket. They won't give you anything if you submit a ticket saying, I want my Warhound tokens. It won't happen. But they are reviewing it.
Okay. I'm glad they're reviewing it.
Okay. So it's sort of like what I, because I think it's in a review. Okay.
Thank you, Derpy.
Yep. Thanks for the insights. And let's go back to the calendar. All right. As we were explaining before, right now we're in the raid Dark Matter, or at least many worlds are. We have a 3-week FM cycle. So a 3-week FM cycle means that I think March 9th or 10th that we have our next raid. The following week, we have the OP12 release, which will release the new OP and all the other goodies, the other buildings that are going to get upgrades associated with that. Maybe I'll wait to the next slide. There's some real problems with this. The other thing I should bring up is that it never actually made it to the forums, but CM Geely said that a lot of the PvP rules that we talked about earlier associated with OP12 are not going to be implemented at the time that it drops. There's going to be a delay so they can make some adjustments and whatnot. So OP12 is going to drop prior to that. I guess I should discuss it here, actually. So basically, between OP12 and the raid is 2 weeks. If you guys have noticed, when you look at your Punishers, they have twice the weight of your riots, the max weight. The max weight of a riot is I'm just going to say 40.
I have no playing Vegas games.
No, okay, which is 40. And then the Punisher is 80, so it is twice the max weight. While your current dock, is it 15? Whatever the max dock is at this point, has a max weight of 200. So you can fit 5 riots in there, but you can only fit 2 Punishers in there. So normally the way it works is the outpost gets released. Usually it's about 12 to 14 days for an upgrade. And then you have about another 7 days to do your dock. Well, they added an extra kicker in this time, or a couple of kickers, that you need to have your War Academy upgraded 3 more levels from the base level, and you need to have, in addition to that, you need to have your tactical lab up an additional 3 levels. So the way I look at it now is probably, unless I have all those things upgraded as far as the the tactical lab and the War Academy, because you could do it, and I got that done a week ago. But you're going to be asked to upgrade your OP and your dock in 2 weeks in order to fit your fleet of Punishers to do the raid, because it's twice the weight, or otherwise you can just use 2 ships. This is the part that I'm really quite confused about. Does anybody have any answers?
Answers? No.
Questions? Answers?
No, I'm confused as well. I mean, I think now that you bring it up, everybody will be.
Surprise TLC with emergency 10-day upgrade outpost token, and
But they would be pushing so many people out of it just even doing the raid. So many people. It's not even like upgrading a ship or whatnot. I can launch 2 ships. It's like, just go home. They need to have some big changes associated with it. They either, you could upgrade your dock in 2 days and you don't need to do your OP first. There's some problems here that are just big in my mind.
Well, the last upgrade, we only did the OP, right? We didn't get new land. We didn't get new upgrades to anything, right?
What are you talking about? No, we got upgrades to everything. We didn't get. I don't know. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
We didn't get land, no.
We didn't get
Okay.
land, but the rest of the stuff. We got new
everything.
docks. We got new shipyards. We got everything else.
I mean, is it possible they would just do the OP and nothing else? No.
Only if they're smoking the good stuff. I have no. I really don't see that happening.
I wish they would.
The reason they wait a year or year plus, and they're like, oh, okay, well, you just upgrade your OP and you get some more armor, and that's it. Maybe an extra armor slot. No, I don't think that's.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of walls. I don't want to do walls ever again.
and the thing is, oh, that's cursed. And the thing is, if they properly delineated things by tier, or even like they're doing now by ship, by particular ship, like the glaive pack, as long as they appropriately scaled resistances and weapon damage, they don't even need to give you more max weight. Like the tier and the power of the items would show you that this is clearly so much better. They don't have to make the Punisher Mark II 80k tons. They'd have to cut a bunch of weights of stuff in half and probably give you new numbers, and that sucks.
But the chances are, okay, they're going to make it 80k max. I mean, that would be going way back to when Eric was doing things like, okay, we're going to give you way more capacity to build the ships, but we're not going to let you put it in your dock. So that's I need to, because it is very old school as far as, you could build a fleet that was 200 whatever units, but we're only going to give you 120 units. And that was part of the strategy, but I don't really feel that with these guys, that they're going to do something like that, because everything has been sort of cookie cutter. So I don't know.
I mean, it does seem like a massive oversight. Like they screwed up, but they probably screwed up bigger than they thought they did.
Either that or they have a solution and it's not what we've previously seen. Where maybe you don't need to upgrade your OP first. Maybe you can upgrade your OP at any point, but you can upgrade your naval yard, your dock, your shipyards, and whatnot and one does not. There's no tech tree out of the OP. It's just sort of flat. I don't know, but it does feel problematic at best.
See, we all have expectations based on what's happened in the past, and they haven't been here for any of that. So I'm just curious. I mean, they can do whatever they want. It doesn't have to be like anything they've ever done before because they don't know what's happened before.
Yeah.
So I'm up for all kinds of surprises. Well, I'm
Okay.
not up for it, but I expect it.
Okay. Well, let's move. We've been going on for almost 40 minutes. Let's move into what we're doing now. The dark matter. All right. And let's move on to the next one. All right. We got a more simplified target set. The 904 is a co-op target with a max of 1 million points. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see either Derpy or Aussie, who are in alpha, hit one of those and get an idea. It appears to be waves and waves of ships coming at you with specified targets that are marked by a orange. Wow. Yeah, I almost really used the wrong word. What is the one for the crosshairs? I almost said really the wrong word. It starts with SPE. Okay, whatever. I almost said speculum, just so you know. But it's
Special.
no. The crosshairs. What is a crosshairs called? Never mind. We'll move on because I was almost just really said the wrong word. And then we have two new S targets. The 142 is the more auto-friendly target. We're still getting jagged bite torpedo shards. I'm pretty sure during the assault raid that we were getting these jagged bites. We should be getting the new D99 launchers here, but they added them into the prize list instead, which we'll get to. And is anybody sort of getting close to hitting any targets? Derpy, Aussie?
Nah, my fleet's damaged.
Okay. Derpy? Maybe he's off hitting a target. So let's go to the next.
I'm here. I was muted. I'm ready whenever.
Okay. What are you going to hit with first?
142.
Okay. Are you going to hit with your you want to hit with the Kickside fleet or your fleet first?
I'll do the Kickside fleet. I'll have to swap them around because I started a crew, but I can do 142 with that one.
Okay. No, that sounds good. Yeah, because it'd be nice to see, like, compare the builds and with similar driving. So whenever you share the screen. Oh, and one more slide. That is the 142. So it's the auto-friendly target. There's no mines in it. So I haven't hit it yet because they're not available for an hour and 20 minutes. So whenever
But
you
the
want.
clouds don't the clouds deal damage though?
Yeah.
So if it was on auto, they're going to be taking damage from the clouds instead.
Look at the placement of those torp towers and ships. I think it is very carefully designed such that you should miss.
Yeah, it could be sort of like leading a blind man down a path with the way, I think is what
Maybe.
Brian's saying as far as the path of the torpedo towers.
Because you go through, you hit the first ship in the top diamond, second ship at the bottom. You go right to that one, and then, either way.
Unless someone's going to auto.
I'm starting.
Okay, you need a screen share before.
Am I not sharing?
No.
I didn't click yes. Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so I don't know what you're talking about with the going through. Is that just avoiding the clouds?
Yeah, because the auto would lock to the torp towers. You would probably avoid the
Yeah.
clouds because of how they're spaced throughout the target.
Well, I'm going to drive it. And this is the free Kickside fleet. No changes. And I am using a Silent Hunter crew. Oh, and I drove into a cloud. Wonderful driving.
Oh wow! Look at the damage on
Oh,
that.
that hurts.
So all it's going to take is it accidentally, even if you put it on auto, accidentally going into one of those clouds, and you're going to be in the shit.
I would hope that they tested it on auto with their stuff, so to make sure we didn't even get close to these clouds.
You're getting up to check basically. Once you go through the top and hit that right one, there's these two things here, and now I know the answer. But if you screwed up on one, you would probably orient to the other because it's closer, and then you'd orient to the one that you just finished off just now in real time, so that you'd, even if something weird happened, there'd be one of them to orient you, and then the line that you take, you wouldn't be damaged.
There's only one way to find out. Unless someone's going to do it on auto. There's no way to actually see where it's going to go.
I'm an Epsilon.
I
Otherwise,
can run on auto if it has enough health at the end, or my regular one on auto. Or I can coin it.
You know, it's just, yeah. But there's no guarantees, that's all. I mean, what if it goes a little bit further forward, blows up the tower, and then goes a different way? I know what he's saying. It should follow the towers, but it might not. It's not 100% guaranteed that that's what it's going to do.
I think that's why they give you two chances. I think they know. Well, that looked decidedly not bad.
Not bad, and it was a very small target, so it was pretty easy to do, other than driving into clouds once or twice. 4 coins repair. I'm going to go ahead and click repair, and then hit the same thing on auto, just so that we can see what we're talking about.
And that 4 coins, that's probably, like, in practice, that's probably 3.
Yeah, even
you probably don't
2. And that gets you what, 250,000?
Yeah.
Okay, here's Kickseye Riot Fleet on auto. I think you are taking more damage because I'm stationary when those big fire twister torpedoes or the trash can torpedoes hit me. So I'm going to take more damage on auto.
That's right.
Than even half-ass driving.
Mm. If it goes to that top one, and then it goes down, and then it goes down a little bit more, that's going to be, oh yeah, just missed. Yeah, okay, so it misses the clouds.
Okay, so it avoids all the clouds.
But you're just taking a heap of damage from those twister torpedoes, that's all.
I think Hefe is right about this being the auto damage target.
Yeah. Half damage for an auto. Yeah, that's a lot of damage.
Okay, there we go. A bunch of explosive from those torpedoes. 7 coins of repair.
Well, explosive wouldn't be from torpedoes, right?
From the fire twister torpedo is still explosive damage.
smart
Yeah.
torpedoes. Yeah, okay.
Okay, well, I guess I'm doing the 143 also, so we're up to 13 coins.
Half of that was pure pressure. Doesn't count.
Exactly.
No, I
So-
was just saying that, everyone's saying about, it should go this way, but you know what it's like. At least with Kickside, doesn't always do what it's supposed to do. But now we know it does.
Maybe not drive this on auto.
Yeah,
You
I don't think
you
I
might
want
want
to do
drive
that
this
one.
one. Yeah, I'm guessing so.
All right, the big hackers.
Yeah, these ones have all the ships and the mines. So that was 3 hours and what is it? 2:13. I'm just. Go ahead.
It was 3 hours 29 minutes on auto, just
Okay.
under 2 hours driving. Not the best driving. So Brian said you could probably get it down to 3 in base or with better.
Yeah. Well, we're not
Yeah.
going through that.
No,
The
I
cloud.
meant
would have
I meant
helped.
the first one when you hit the clouds on accident.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you
Um,
take that cloud out of that equation, you might have knocked off 40 minutes.
But because I'm curious to see what the difference is going to be between the, because you only have one at X1, right, and the rest of them are at X0.
This is the Kickside one, yeah. But my
Yeah,
other one has 1 at X1 and 4 at U0.
Yeah, because that's one of the things because a lot of people might have. I don't know. Personally, I have a lot of riot tokens around. I'm not sure if because through the crowd control TLC. Was it crowd control?
Yeah,
it
it
was
was that one.
Yeah, it was crowd control. So some people might have the ability to make some massive changes to the Kickside provided riot fleet. And
You
so,
also got to remember with the Kickside, it's got the basic weapon, not the upgraded.
yeah, the bone
It's
skewer.
it's dealing slightly less damage.
Yeah, and that would probably be the expensive part of the upgrade as opposed to changing some specials.
A lot of people probably wouldn't have enough torpedoes, period, to change them.
Well, probably change the specials, but yeah, changing the weapons, I agree, that would be difficult.
So I'm used to driving where I can shoot down all of the enemy anti-mortars with my 5 Gale 4s. These ships, the Kickside ships, can't because they don't have a reload special.
Now, I was just comparing my ship damage with a Cormorant and an anti-mortar is 3,343,680. Now, the Kickside ship, which has only got 1 anti on it, or whichever one it's got on it, is also 3,343,680. That's got 1 extra weapon. So they've got the same amount of damage output.
Well, okay, so
but 1 less. On what?
Oh wait. Oh, you have 1 more weapon than the Kicks fleet?
No,
the Kickside fleet has
Okay,
1 more.
okay, so no, that
has
actually
1
works. So it's 32,000 versus 36,000 for the weapon damages. If you have all the new one, and they have
That's what
1
I'm
more,
saying.
if they have a 9th normal torp, then the damage, the flat damage number is exactly the same. But
That's what I'm saying. So with only 1 anti on there, they're dealing the same amount of damage. So before we were saying, they've got the older weapons, but they're dealing the same amount of base damage.
Not including criticals and everything
not
else.
including the criticals and
Specials,
everything
yeah.
else. Yeah, so I'm just saying that the base damage with unless you really want to go and put another anti on there, they're dealing the same amount of damage. If you go and swap just your specials.
Which brings back the question, do we need all the antis that we're using? Can we get by with less and swap out for
Well,
Sika?
can we get away with less
Anti.
Comrade?
Yeah,
Comrade.
Comrade.
Because Derpy is showing us.
That's what I did.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's what I did. I took out, I have like 1, maybe 2 Comrades. I used to have 4, and then I just took them off and put my torps on.
So you got
Okay.
one.
The thing is, with my ships, the way they're built, I have to put 2 in. I have to have 2 antis on there, or it goes overweight.
Yeah. I think
So
I'll
I've got
hit
enough.
the 903 with the Kixeye fleet too.
I've got enough of the jagged torps.
You think it's going to make it through?
I think it will.
That was
Okay.
4 and 4, right? I missed the last bit. $1 million for what? 7, 8, 9 coins? Ugh.
All right.
It's a 904 now, not the 903.
Yeah,
Okay.
104, yeah. Yeah, and that's the one I missed when I was screenshotting it. I needed to do 4 screenshots, and for some reason the 4th screenshot didn't take. So that's why I didn't send it to you, because I've only got 3 corners. I've been missing 1 corner, which would be useless to you. Really don't know how that happened.
Oh boy. And
Good
it's a
help.
timer. Things are incoming. Like there's a wave start going in. You can see them on the map.
Yeah, every 2
Yeah.
minutes. Isn't it every 2 minutes, I think? That they,
1 or 2 is what I read on the strategy.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was 1 or 2, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Will they? I'm not sure if the encounter will end if I kill the original targets. I know to get
No,
full points, you have to kill
I don't
everything.
think it does. I think on the brief it said you had to kill the others as well.
You have to kill the others for full points, but we'll see.
And I doubt if you kill these targets quick enough to get the.
Yeah, so the targeting icon over that particular ship, it says ending, you kill those and that ends the target. It doesn't say anything about kill that and finish off the remaining wave. It just
Okay.
says once they're dead, that's it.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, you could. You won't get as many points. I do love how it's in all caps and italics at the top about how you could get less points if you end the target earlier if they hit the mines. Which is it's like, yes.
But we see that every time somebody's going to be posting in comms or posting in forums that they didn't get all their points. They don't know why. So there's still people that don't understand it.
I feel like we need to crop that and just throw it on wherever we see. Well, it's here. It's where you probably should have looked. And banned from the forums logout.
Well, Derpy, you actually seem to be doing better on this one.
Yeah, not a lot of damage
So far,
until everything else spawns.
he's in wave 1.
Where did these scouts come from? Were
Well,
they already there?
Well, if he kills off the
If I kill these 2 before the next wave comes in, it will end. Right?
well, is there any more target ships? I don't know.
I don't
Everything with
know.
an
Bottom
orange
left-hand corner.
Oh, something's incoming. Oh, no. Yeah, maybe. I think these are incoming waves. I'm not sure. Yeah, they are because they don't have the little symbol that Brian was talking about.
Stay
So
out
what
of
do we
the
need to kill? What do we need to kill to finish this target?
Stay out
It's
of
not
the
the
yellow.
torpedo towers.
What's your mom teach you about yellow snow?
Maybe
Probably a speculal. Speculal is the word I was looking for.
Go down. Is there a target down the bottom there? Or is that as far as it goes? No, as far as it goes. I thought there was a ship down there.
I can't zoom out anymore.
I'm not seeing anything to confirm or deny, but I'm thinking that some.
It's up at the
There it
top.
is.
Oh, there it is.
That's it.
Hello, friend.
There-
So I'm just going to kill that.
Yeah. Then you're out of here. Yeah, try and kill it before you kill them.
He's got quite a following.
See if it just ends.
Put him chink. Now the clouds don't hurt them, right? Last
I
wave gives
believe
the most points. Yes, no. The later waves do give more points. I don't know why we're trying to speed run it. I feel like there might be another ship that we missed.
To see if it ends the target and to see how many points you can get.
Yep, there's one more.
Oh, yeah. I thought there was one in the bottom left.
See, it might be easier for people that have to use this fleet here to just do what he's doing, try to kill those special targets and get in and out quick. You'll get less points, but you also get less damage, and you can probably do it several times.
Well, the main thing is, that you would be getting the bonus, which is fixed.
Right.
Yeah.
What's the bonus for just the top set? Just the top
250.
target?
Just this target is 250k.
Okay, it ended.
And that's
So,
Yeah. If you killed them all, even if the other ones are in the water.
so people that just have the kickside fleet,
They can do the top targets in this raid.
yeah.
Okay, 250,000 for what
Bonus.
set?
No,
So out
it's
of
just
that
for
1
killing
million
that.
points, out of the 1 million points available in the target, I only got 120,000.
Yeah, because the rest of them still haven't launched, I guess.
Mm.
Did you get a bonus though?
See, when I did-
Looks like I got a bonus of 250,000.
Yeah, when I did that target, I got 1 million. What did I say? 86,300. Something like that. Yeah, because I killed all the other ships, and then killed the last one of the target. Well, killed as much as I could anyway.
So is
that
there a step
included-
bonus?
So out of that, I got 1 million. So
How?
I was short from the 250,000 down to 86 or 83 or something.
I don't know who flushed the toilet, but
Wasn't me.
you were looking to see if there was a combo bonus. Go all the way down to the bottom. I don't think there is one.
I don't think there's a combo bonus for completing
there
all
isn't.
3 of the top
There isn't one.
targets.
Yeah, because
I checked.
it's usually all the way down to the bottom when they show it. So that's what I
It's
thought you
not
were
there.
looking for.
I already checked.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So it's just for this one.
Okay, well that's all. That's about all. That's the new top targets.
Okay. I mean, do you want to hit 1 or 2 with your actual real fleets to see what we, 329 becomes, or you're over it?
All over it. I'm over it. I'll do those a bit later when I do my own stream with all the
Okay.
targets, the C set stuff. So
Okay. No. Okay. No, I was just
Thank
checking.
you. Thank you for sharing that, Derpy.
yeah,
I think that's the biggest question everybody had is how are these new fleets gonna work?
looks like that was 1 hour 57 minutes from doing that to 903 with the Kicksai riots on my first try.
Good job.
Yeah, that
Very-
is a reasonable fleet.
So, alrighty, we're gonna go back to the slides and let's see. Let's see the next slide. Okay, we've seen all this. All right, we've gotten into this. This is the new Tier 9 Siege Hall, the Punisher, MK2, Mark II. It's 4 days, 15 hours. Um, the build time is longer than we saw with the riots. It's who knows what biofuels are. I know what biofuels are, but in the game, I don't think we've
We haven't had biofuel fields. I don't think yellow snow counts.
There's
Yeah.
just going to be some other random field that will activate your ships, and that's all it is. It's just going to be one circle on the water.
We'll find out the day before the raid. Actually, depends. We might find out
maybe
a
a couple hours before the raid. That might
When
be.
the strategy guide comes out.
Yeah.
I can see there being a mechanic where you blow up a certain building and it dumps its biofuel into the water, and then you use that to build under the building.
Now that would be kind of interesting.
Yeah. Also deserving
Wait, explain what you were thinking. That if you shot a ship, it would spill out. I'm
Shot
thinking.
shot a building.
Okay. Yeah.
Like
that
there's
could
like
be
a
the way it
circle symbol
works.
of the building, and if you shoot it, then around it on the ground, maybe torp tower or not.
It's sort of like the oil slicks. Remember those? What was it?
Or there's something in the water that you shoot.
Hollows that would speed you up if you hit the oil slick, and you could use them to your advantage to zoom past the target. Remember? Anybody?
Yeah, way back with the very original Apollos.
Yeah. Oh, that was a long time ago in the game. Yes. So it could be something like that.
I just think it's going to be a new thing like uranium that you have to buy with coins. Don't give them any ideas, right? Biofuel, the new resource.
Someone has a cat.
Yeah, she's an opinionated little pirate.
It's Patches the pirate.
I'm reading all the notes here. I hadn't even had a chance to look at this yet. Well,
Okay. We've already had a lengthy conversation as far as the weight goes, but again, this is 80,000 versus 40,000 for the riot. The armor points. I am so glad they started adding commas where they didn't used to be, because otherwise, if they drop those commas,
yeah.
how many armor points do they have? That would be, there might be whole shows on that.
Do we even need armor with those armor points?
You need survival. Those armor points. That's the same thing.
Yeah, which that's something that we'll get into in a little bit, because the trying to think of nothing else on this slide. It does have a stacking bonus of 5,000 each, 8 weapon slots, 6 armor slots. We've seen some increases in those two as far as both offensive and defensive prowess, but also in build time. So let's go to the next one. Yeah, this is what we talked about earlier.
Although you could just build your Punishers to be maximum 40,000, and you'd be able to fit 5 in a fleet. You could do that if you wanted to.
Yeah, and you might get whatever. I'm not even going to use the words, but you could get run over pretty quickly as well, depending on how Kickstarter set up the.
Well, you know what? Wouldn't it be nice if we had a strategy guide by the time the XP weekend came out, so we would know how to build these for the future?
Yeah.
And wouldn't that be great?
Keep dreaming.
Yeah.
I'm a dreamer.
But as you saw, they're 80,000 each. I have a max level. It's 40,000 for the riot. So whatever. I don't know what they're doing. I try to ask a lot of questions, but So let's move on. Next slide. All right. There are no countermeasure slots on the ship. They are all standard slots, so you cannot put countermeasures on them, which is, I guess, good and bad.
Takes away that question.
Yeah.
Which one's going to work?
Yeah. Yep. And the other thing that I wanted to bring up is on the far right hand side. Normally, if you had that 10,000, it would be 156,000 percentage, the amount added to your armor. The number that you get from your survival to your armor boost has doubled or halved, depending on how you want to look at it. So your existing 5,000 survival armor plates that we see everywhere, they're now worth half as much as they used to be, going from tier 8 to tier 9. So your survival numbers have really suffered. I'm hoping, I don't know if am I hoping that they come out with new ones?
But they're going to. If
I'm
this is
sure.
tier
I'm
9.
sure they're gonna have new ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get ready for major FM.
Yeah. I mean, that's my
And then-
assumption. I mean, I
And
had
a 3-week cycle.
I had, people on Discord argue, no, they don't need to do it. They just need to tune it the other way. And I'm like, there's no reason that they even do this. They go from 64 to 128 as a divisor, unless they're planning to make the tier 8 technology less valuable. That's the only reason that you do that, is to force people to move on to new technology, which the resistance-based armors did not force people to do. You could stay with 5-year-old stuff and still build your resistances up quite well.
And we knew this was coming. We knew this would happen when they went to the resistance base.
And the upgrade, we have 5,000 each. Okay. We have a heavy weapon slot unlock. Until we know what that is, we don't know what that means as far as how powerful that might be. Then we have a plus 5,000 ore upgrade that they named Band of Brothers. And I'm not sure, I know it was a World War II movie, right? But I'm not sure how it relates to the Punisher. Was the Punisher around, the Punisher in the comic book? Did he spend some time in World War II, like Wolverine, or I don't know. I guess there's no Punisher, people that study the Punisher. I'm, the Punisher from the Marvel's world. But radioactive damage plus 50, supercharged times 3. It is what it is until we start to get more information. And people are throwing builds out there right now. 2 reasons not to do them right now is A, you can't fit them in your dock. B, we need to see what specials and other technology come out in the FM next week.
And we only have 3 weeks to build them.
Yeah.
And upgrade them.
Okay. Yeah. Any other thoughts on these? Okay, well, let's move on. So Derp can get on to his real fleet. The Impulse Launcher D99F is the launcher that is currently available in this. Is the unlimited standard launcher for the Punisher. The Antipode Launcher D99U is the limited that we were able to get 10 of in Pillage, and 10 more in this raid. It does almost twice as much normal damage. Otherwise, besides projectile speed, they're pretty much identical. Or they're identical besides projectile speed and, almost doubling of damage. Has anybody here done any playing around with some possible? Well, we'll wait till the next one. But they're 8 hours and 7 minutes, which is 3 hours longer than we had with the torpedoes on our riots, which it does appear to be build creep, but we will see. And I call it the mail launcher because it appears at this point that it's doing about half the damage, but I don't really think that's the answer at the end of the day. I think that ends up with some of the specials, because has anybody played around with this? It appears that you can get a shockwave on pretty much every salvo.
That's what I've been seeing. You could get a build going that would shockwave every round.
Yeah, because I'm getting like stacks of 1450.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so with 100% accuracy, which doesn't matter because in theory these should all be buildings, so accuracy shouldn't be a problem because weapons always hit buildings. So if you put the right combinations of specials together, and you have a full fleet, and of course it's skulled, you should be getting this 12.5 million every time it's shockwaves. So the difference between this 25.5 and 48K may not be as big as it appears on the surface. Is that what you were thinking, Derpy, or something else?
I'd agree there. The shockwave damage being the same means that they're fairly equivalent.
Yes, and they do stack together, and they also stack with the Tier 8 launchers, the ones that were put together for the Shrike. So I didn't bring them in for comparison, but so it's not as bad as it looks, because it looks bad if it looks like it's half the damage, but once you start to factor in the shockwave, and if you get it every time, but we haven't seen the targets, but it doesn't look as disparate as it would initially appear.
Doing some quick back of the envelope math. If you have, how many weapon slots are on the Punisher? Like 10?
I think it's 8.
Okay.
Well, Lady Cat, let's go back and see. I think it's 8. 8. Yeah, 8.
Okay, go back to the slide you were just at then.
Okay.
It means your total damage that you're getting from all your launchers put together. If you have 8 launchers per ship, 5 ships, and then times 48,000, it means that total damage from shockwave is 12 million, and total damage from your launchers themselves will be between 1 million and 2 million, depending on which launcher you have on here. So it's maybe an 8%, 10% buff using all the new one, which is about the same thing we've seen with the riot weapons.
But you're including some of the let's go to the next special, or the next one. But you're including some of these specials, because like the anti-absorption system is available in this raid. I was pushing for Adam's selection system, but they decided against it. But
wonder why.
I don't know. I'm not really sure, but it has a multi-shot of +2, and if you look around, you will see, unless the special does radioactive damage, you can stack it with another multi-shot special. Multi-shot will stack with the AAS. You might want to use one that might be corrosive or something like that. And you can also find some decent supercharge, or I forget what it is, but yeah, there's some things that are I don't really want to talk about at this point, because I want to wait for what happens with the FM, because I'm curious to see what specials, armors, and weapons are going to, well, specials and armors, that might drop with the FM. That might be a better build. But again, multi-shot does stack one on top of the other. The build I was looking at that I got at the 1450 was +5, where it was happening. You got a shockwave every salvo. So. Okay. Sonova for the atom selection system.
People are still going to call it the S anyway.
Well, I think is that the last slide?
Yep.
Yep. So,
Good job.
so anybody? Did I miss anything? Anything anybody wants to add? Goodness.
Is it how long is the raid? 5 days, 6 days?
It started off as 6 days.
So that's a bit longer than normal, right?
No, it's always. It's
Okay.
that way for a while. It's the same.
I'm still thinking about how raids were 2 years ago then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem we all have. We all have the same expectations, and things are different. Sometimes it's hard for us to change.
Okay. Well, I don't know what that meant, but if we don't, I guess if we don't have anything, if you don't have anything else, I mean, I guess we can let because Derpy, you plan to go hit some more targets in your live stream.
Yeah, starting in like 10 minutes, and I'm going to do all of them CSET to the new ones. So if people want to check in on that after this ends, go for it.
Okay. Yep. Hopefully they bring back the D set. I'd be happy about that. But I put the link in the right-hand side in case anybody would like to join. And unless anybody has any parting words, we can end things up until Friday, and maybe we'll know more about what's going to happen with the with our dock, in the future. Because it just, it struck me today, and I asked people, and I didn't really get a good answer as far as what was happening there. I still haven't got a good answer. So.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything about the OP12 and the new PvP changes since that initial post from Saltwater, right? I mean, I know.
The only thing that we've seen since then is that CM Geely made a post that the changes to the PvP rules would not drop with OP12 in 2 weeks. They would occur at some point later because they were still working out the, they were trying to better our experience with the.
Right. Well, I mean, a lot of people commented on what Saltwater wrote, so it'd be nice to know if anything changed since that initial post. So hopefully he'll let us know.
Well, yeah, and it's more than 2 weeks away because it would be, so it's a ways away. So
yeah, but early heads up is good. We appreciate early communication. Just saying.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, if I'm going to end this show if nobody else has anything else, and see you all on Friday.
There is one thing. Actually, no, there is one thing.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. They did add some prizes, but you got to also remember the structure build.
Oh yeah, added those in the slide. But...
Yeah, the structure build tokens go in the 2 of 2. So you're just going to make sure that if you want to get them, you've got space for them.
Oh, okay.
Use them. Use some. You might have something building, so use them to top them back up again.
Okay. I wonder what that's going to do to Turrets of Terror. Maybe maybe that's gone.
Into the 200s.
I wish we could hold more of those tokens.
So,
Yeah, that's. I just thought I'd throw that in.
Yep.
Just so people knew about if they didn't know it was there.
okay. How many extra points if you kill it fast with 2 people? It appears that you get less points if you kill it fast from watching Derpy hit the target because the extra ships don't come out.
Yep. But you also get less damage, so you can do more of them.
Yeah, but that's
Well,
not the question.
obviously-
That's not the question he's asking. But yeah,
Okay, so let's say there was 2 people in there and they killed half the target each. All the ships, without them getting blown up or anything else, they should get 500 points plus the bonus each. But it will depend on how many ships, how much they kill of the target. Will depend on how many points they get. Is that correct?
yeah. You split the points and then you each
Yeah.
get the bonus. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Will depend how much damage or how many ships each person kills will be how many points they get. So if someone goes in and doesn't kill any ships, they should only get the bonus.
Yeah.
Does
So
that answer your question, Matthew?
I think so. But kill it fast means that's
Yeah,
the
just if
So
you
if-
did like Derpy did and just killed the base ships as quick as possible, you're going to get a hell of a lot less points because, as we saw, Derpy only got.
I got 120,000. I think the ones that are in there are probably worth about exactly 100,000.
Yeah, so you're only getting 10% of the maximum payout points, and then and again, it would depend if one person killed all those ships or if it was divided by 2, and how many each one killed. So one person might get 20,000, the other might get 80, plus the bonus. Yes? No? Yes? No?
No.
Yep. I think you're right.
I agree with what you're saying. It's just
It ends for quick bonus time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just you get less points if you kill it quickly.
Yeah,
So
and then if you're going to do that, there's not really any point in doing it. You might as well just go and hit the 142s and 143s.
well,
Because you're going to get 250,000 for killing the target.
unless it's like 2 people, unless there's like, because now you're taking that 250 and doubling it, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, but if you're only going to, okay, let's say you're only going to get 100,000 points for just the ships, the base ships that are in there without any other ones spawning. And you both killed 50%. So you're going to get 50,000 plus the 250. So you're getting 300,000 points for killing that target quick. And that's all you're going to get. You're not going to get any more.
But if you're prepping for someone that's not very good or is not able to do well, everybody's got a
Yeah, but
fleet now.
that's not his question. That wasn't his original question.
True.
So then, if this person just went into it 142, he's going to get and killed all the ships without them going through mine. Well, they don't have the mines, do they? They kill all the ships. That's 250,000. So there's only 50,000 short of the 300,000. That's if they get all the points and none of the ships run into mines. So then they go and do the 143. They get another 250,000 plus a 500,000 bonus. So that's 1,000,000 points for 2 targets, compared
But they
to
can't.
300 for 1 target.
But they can't co-op these targets, right?
Yeah, I know
The
that.
top one
but
can be, yeah.
Yeah,
But the bottom ones can't.
yeah. But what I'm trying to say is, if 2 people are in there, because he's saying if 2 people go in there to kill it fast, the maximum each person's going to get is 300,000. Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
that
might as well just do a 143 or 142 and get 250,000, and then do a 143 and get another 250,000, and the bonus of 500 is 1,000,000 in 2 targets. Where if they hit 2 of the high-level targets and both split it, it's only 600. So it's an extra 400,000 for hitting the B set, which is the A set. What sets are they nowadays? Oh, the S
which
targets.
is the F set, which is the D set. But yeah,
Yes, yeah, I can't remember. They keep changing. Like the S targets. So if you kill the S target, you're getting 1,000,000 points, and you have to kill 2 of the X targets, and you're only getting 600 at the most.
Yeah.
If you're dividing it between 2 people.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess the main thing you're addressing is to kill it fast. You get less points, and the main reason I think what Aussie is saying is you're going to get more points if you're both good hitting the other targets and getting the bonuses associated with that.
Yeah.
But if you are trying to do this with somebody that needs points and doesn't have the same development of their fleet, then maybe, killing it fast with them, maybe that player, the player with the weaker fleet, might get more points, and that might be more advantageous.
Yes.
Okay. Alrighty. I think we got that all explained until Friday.
Good night, all.
Good night.
Good night. See y'all in 2 minutes.
Okay. Derpy the cow. Hit the targets.
Thanks, Derpy.
Thank you.